we're going to open up public input, which is limited to 3 minutes. I'd like to welcome up Mr. George Potanovic, Jr.
Members of the public, my name is George Potanovic, President of the Stony Point Action Committee for the Environment. Tonight you have a agenda item having to do with rezoning our waterfront with a overlay zone. While I think this is an important presentation, I really didn't see much publicity about it. It was mentioned at the last town board meeting, but absent that, I didn't see anything on the website unless I missed it, and also didn't see much in terms of social media publicity. I think it's important that when we have these meetings on subjects that are important to the town, that the town board does a better job of being more transparent and publicizing these meetings in advance. We do get an agenda the day before the meeting, and the item was listed on the agenda. But I think we have to make a bigger effort to let the public know about this in advance of the meeting and not just a day before the meeting. In speaking about that as well, I've spoken to the board before. I think we should be covering these meetings on either Facebook Live or on Zoom. People shouldn't have to either risk their health or have to leave their jobs to come here to a meeting. There ought to be an opportunity for them to view the meeting from home. Participate. You've got 2 public hearings on the agenda tonight. People should be able to participate from home. The 5 towns in Rockland County, 3 of them cover these meetings live, and they actually then take the tapes of those meetings and put them up on cable TV the next day. The town doesn't do any of that. So I think we need to make a better effort to record the meetings, stream the meetings, and put them out for the public on social media so people can watch them and participate. We're not doing that. I think we should be doing that. Okay, that's all I really have to say right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your input. Next up is Mr. Mike Diederich.
Good evening, Mr. Supervisor and Town Board. I'm speaking as a citizen. I'm sorry. Michael Diederich, 361 Route 210, Stony Point. I'll start again. Good evening, Mr. Supervisor and Town Board. I'm speaking as a citizen to discuss the letter I've sent to you dated July 4th, 2022, which I note was not mentioned by the town clerk in discussing correspondence to the town. Second, I presume that if I had not signed the sign-in sheet in advance of this meeting, that I would not be allowed to speak, and it's an unwritten requirement that you have. Third, I think allowing only 3 minutes to speak is not enough time for me, not enough time for many speakers. The U.S. Supreme Court recently ruled in the Dobbs abortion case that the right of abortion is not found in the country's constitutional history and tradition. Well, very much in contrast to reproductive rights, the right of free speech and to petition government is very much in both our nation's and our town's history and tradition. I've lived in this town since childhood, that's a very long time. There was a time not long ago when there were no time limits on public input or sign-in sheets. My belief is that there are no time limits imposed on citizen presentations to this town board for most of the history of this town since its incorporation in 1865, over 150 years, including into colonial times. Likewise, no sign-in requirement throughout that time, 150 years or more. Keeping history and tradition in mind, I would respectfully request that the town's citizens' First Amendment rights be deemed important here, and that you not impose either a sign-in requirement or a 3-minute requirement. As to this advanced sign-in requirement, there's no legitimate need for such. Allowing latecomers to a meeting to speak after everyone else has signed in does not harm governmental administration. On the other hand, denying the right to speak unreasonably impairs the citizens' right to free speech and right to petition government, and does so for capricious and arbitrary reasons. It's basically town board fiat. The fiat imposes a de facto tax on residents' time, as they have to come here early, sometimes an hour before they actually give speech. Its only purpose, it seems, is to reduce the amount of public participation. And I think today we only have two speakers, Mr. Potanovic and myself, when I checked. As to the 3-minute time limitation, it is arbitrary. It's an arbitrary limitation. It's designed to suppress speech and the ability to petition the town board for redress. Mr. Potanovic speaks on complex issues involving the environment and land use, and he speaks for an association of people, a number of people, yet he's limited to only 3 minutes. It's arbitrary. Likewise, people running for office, as I did last year, political opponents, speaking on behalf of a large political constituency. Limiting a candidate's speech to 3 minutes is simply suppressing the speech. There's no legitimate reason for you to limit speech arbitrarily to 3 minutes, particularly when, you often respond at length to comments.
You're at the 3 minutes now, but I'll give you a little extra minute there to wrap it up.
Thank you. I'm almost done. Over the years, the town and villages in this region, municipalities have gone from not having these requirements to 5 minutes and now 3 minutes. And the purpose is clear, to insulate municipal governors from criticism and to suppress and dissuade citizens from involving themselves in town government. So I think that we need an informed electorate. I also encourage you to accept George Potanovic's view that we should have online input and that you reconsider your position.
Great. Thank you for your input. So I did answer, as part of correspondence, I did respond to Mr. Diederich, and anybody is welcome to, if they have more to say than the allowed time, they're welcome to email through the town clerk. The purpose of public input is to address the town board. They're welcome to get their message to the town board. We welcome it. And most know here in Stony Point, I'm always available. My office is open. I meet with residents all the time. I have an open door policy. As long as I'm not in a meeting, I welcome, and normally I give a resident as much time as they need. Thank you.